Well, good morning and welcome to Thursday's edition of Morning Brew. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Drew McHolm. I'm the pastor of the Little Brown Church and St. John's at Pleasant Hill, both in Nashua, Iowa, northeast Iowa. Thank you so much for being with us. Please share these messages with your family and friends on Facebook. And we really appreciate you following along in some of the comments that have been made about the broadcast. All you need is your Bible. I say this every morning. Use the ESV, this one here. Also a cup of coffee, which I've got right here. And what else? An open heart and mind to hear the word of the Lord, and a notebook and pen if you take notes. We're in some practical topics for the next number of days. And the whole subject matter is how to maximize your ministry, how to live your ministry life to the max for the Lord. And many of us don't ever get there because we forget the principles of spiritual growth and also some practical principles of how to, for instance, lead a well-rounded life, a balanced life. Most of the cause of burnout within the ministry, that is full-time people, is because of an imbalanced life, if you will. There's too much time spent on ministry rather than family and friends and recreation. So we've got to be sensible about what we do for the Lord. And we've been talking about some of these practical things. I want to share at least one with you today, another one, and that is the importance of rehearsing each challenge mentally. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we live in a culture where everything is super fast. We are asked to make decisions on the fly. There's no time to wait for things. I joked with the congregation last Sunday about when we used to have dial-up internet connections and we're quite happy waiting five minutes to get online. And today, if it doesn't happen in a nanosecond, we get upset and our day's wasted. And so we live in a society that everything has got to happen instantaneously for us. And we can get online rather than jump in our car and drive to a store and walk around and pick whatever we want to buy. We can now just sit at our computer or on our phone and order something from Amazon, and lo and behold, and 2 days later it's there. And so a lot of times this affects the way that we approach ministry and the things that we do for the Lord, that we are in a rush to get everything done, it would seem. And so that's why I think this point is important, that we need to rehearse each challenge mentally. And what I mean by that is real simple. We need to think about things. We need to run it through our mind. Because let's face it, our first reaction, our first impulse may not always be the right one. I used to joke about when I was a pastor in Austin, asking people when they came into the church, how are you doing? And they would say, oh, great, fine. And maybe I would ask them again, how are you really doing? And then it would be, oh gosh, everything's falling apart. So sometimes our first response is not either the accurate one or the right one, or sometimes not even the honest one. And so I'm hoping that we begin to think about things that we're doing for the Lord. Think about our ministry. Run it through our processor, if you will. The Bible talks about Jesus opening their minds, people's minds, to receive what he was saying. The Bible also talks about praying with spiritual understanding. And it's important that we do that. It's important that we think about the activities we do for the Lord, and that we have creative thinking, planning, dreaming, imagining, envisioning. And then when we have a task in front of us, that we don't just impulsively jump into it. We think about it and work it through. Why? Because God not only works with our heart, but he works with our mind. He not only saves this part of us, he saves the whole part of us and redeems not only our heart and our passions, but he redeems our mind. He can change the way that we think about things, how we approach decisions. And so my encouragement to you this morning is, if you've got something that's a challenge, rehearse it. Go over it mentally. Take time. Don't rush. If you've got a challenge in ministry, if you're a pastor or you're a leader or you're in charge of the youth ministry or children's, and there's something that's coming up that you need to deal with, think it through. Share it with other people as well. Let them listen to your story. Let them listen to your challenge and let them help you and advise you. The Bible talks about in the multitude of counselors there is security. And so sometimes it's important that we share these things with other people so that they can throw in their 10 cents worth, if you will, and what they're hearing from the Lord about this situation. So my appeal to you is really, really simple, and that is rehearse each challenge mentally. Run it through your mind. Ask the Lord to give you the solution to the problem, and just take that time to think and relax and allow Him to speak to you. And I'm sure as you do that, the decisions that you make will be better than the ones you've made before. So think about these things. That's what we're talking about this morning. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. So God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow.